Sasa zenye nilizunguka Kenya, nikawaambia tamu yangu ya bunge la mwananchi inaisha. Wakenya wakaniambia umetuonyesha leadership nzuri. Wewe kama Francis Awino unaenda kutuachia nini? Nikawaambia mimi sina Roho Mtakatifu, lakini tunaenda kuanzisha vuguvugu la Kenya moja ndio liweze kuponya Kenya, ndio sisi kama Wakenya tuweze kusonga mbele pamoja. So this is not a political space. This is not a church space. This is not a civil society space. This is a space that is bringing all Kenyans together so that we can move together. Na ndio maana naalika wa Kenya tarehe 7 mwezi wa 7. Nataka tupatane pale Uhuru Gardens. Tutazunguka Kenya nzima.
I'm from Kisii County. We are here for a noble reason and with a noble vision. Allow me to introduce my colleague and founding member, Mr. Today, take over.
Karibuni sana members of the press. Today on 6th of June 2025, Sita Day, a run up to Sabasaba Day, we probably launched Kenya Moa Coalition, a bold and inclusive movement that brings together all Kenyans. We are united across regions, ethnicities, generations, and social classes by one clear vision: maendeleo bila ubaguzi, development without discrimination. Rooted in the desire of national healing, civic renewal, and equitable progress, Kenya Moa represents a break from personality cults, tribal arithmetic, and transactional alliances. Our coalition blends the wisdom of past national leadership with fresh generational energy, particularly from youth, women, civil society, and the diaspora. Kenya Moa is not a coalition of convenience, but a movement of conviction to build a fairer, freer, and a more unified republic where all Kenyans feel seen, heard, and served. Please allow me to ask my brother Charles to take over.
Yes, good morning. I'm Makolonde Charles from Homa Bay County, a policy and governance researcher and a founding member of Kenya Moa initiative. Kenya Moa. Kenya Moa. Kenya Moa. Kenya Moa. Yes, I'm here to tackle why Kenya Moa. To truly understand why Kenya Moa is necessary today, we must look back at our shared history in the past 6 decades and the challenges that have held our nation's unity and progress. We start in the 1960s. After independence, the government introduced Session Paper number 10 of 1965, which shaped economic development policy. It focused resources on regions deemed economically viable, mainly the central part of Kenya and parts of the Rift Valley. Unfortunately, this policy excluded large parts of the country, including the northeastern coast, Nyanza, and western Kenya, leading to decades of uneven development and marginalization. This early exclusion planted seeds of inequality that persist today. The 1970s and 1980s. During this period, political power became increasingly centralized. Access to public jobs, land, and resources was often linked to political loyalty and regional favoritism. These practices deepened regional disparities, weakened national cohesion, and created feelings of exclusion among many communities. The 1990s. The return to multi-party democracy was a hopeful moment for many Kenyans. Yet, it also saw increased competition among ethnic and regional lines as groups vied for political power and control of state resources. This sometimes escalated into violence, undermining social trust and democratic stability. The 2000s. The devastating post-election violence of 2007-2008 was a painful climax of long-standing divisions and grievances. Over 1,000 lives were lost and hundreds of thousands displaced. This tragedy highlighted how exclusion and politicization of identity threatened the country's peace and development. The 2010s. The new constitution of 2010 promised change with the devolution, enhanced governance, and stronger citizen participation. While progress has been made, challenges like uneven resource distribution, corruption, and political patronage has continued to slow meaningful inclusive development. The 2020s. Despite reforms, Kenya still struggles with deep political polarization, economic inequality, growing disillusionment amongst mostly the young people. Many regions and communities remain underserved and underrepresented in national development plans and political processes. This history of exclusion and division underlines the urgent need for Kenya Moja, a movement committed to undoing decades of marginalization and building a united, inclusive nation. Kenya Moja.
Kenya huru.
Kenya Moja.
Maendeleo bila ubaguzi.
Kenya Moja.
Kenya huru.
Kenya Moja.
Maendeleo bila ubaguzi.
Before I call my colleague, I just wanted to say that it is our vision. The reason why we felt it was necessary to have Kenya Moja is because we have seen what politics of identity has done to our country. Just to give a brief example, in the year 2020, it was supposedly a battle between the hustlers of the poor and the dynasties of the rich. But after the election, perceived to be won by the poor or the hustlers. Right now, the state is being run by who? It's the same dynasties still running the processes. And now, as we head towards 2027, is being shaped as a battle between Gen Z or the young and the status quo or the old. But if history has taught us anything, is that despite these identities, if we don't push for equity, for maendeleo bila ubaguzi, some regions will lag behind, but the same status quo will remain at the top. Thank you, gentlemen, and welcome to Manzi.
Kenya Moja.
Kenya huru.
Kenya Moja.
Maendeleo bila ubaguzi.
My name is Kimanzi. I'm from Kitui County and a founding member of Kenya Moja. What are our goals? 1. Inclusive economic transformation. Development must be for everyone. It must benefit everyone, not just a few or those with political ties. Kenya Moja demands fair planning and investment so that maendeleo bila ubaguzi truly reaches grassroots communities, especially those left behind. Number 2, we want a dignified alternative to divisive politics. Kenya's politics today often rely on fear, blame, and division. Kenya Moja rejects that. We promote unity, hope, dignity, and leadership that puts service before spectacle. Number 3, youth mobilization and civic empowerment. Millions of young Kenyans are awake and politically aware, but many feel left out. Kenya Moja is going beyond social media hashtags. We are investing in real civic education, voter registration, leadership training, and innovation hubs to turn online energy into real political influence. Number 4, accountability at all levels of government. Real development only happens when leaders are accountable. Kenya Moja will monitor and publicly assess both national and county governments, pushing for transparency, fairness, and citizen participation in decision making. Kenya Moja.
Kenya huru.
Kenya Moja.
Maendeleo bila ubaguzi.
And what are we looking ahead? This is just the beginning. In coming weeks, Kenya Moja is planning to hold grassroots or mashinani dialogue forums and rallies across the country to engage citizens in shaping Kenya's future. We are building a movement for all Kenyans, all generations, a movement of fairness, dignity, and real progress. We invite everyone to join us. Kenya Moja.
Kenya huru.
Kenya Moja.
Maendeleo bila ubaguzi.
That is the end of our statement, official statement. And before I invite my colleague Anthony, we are saying that we must reject any development model that discriminates a region against another, a tribe against another. Development to a region must not be at the expense of another. That is why we are saying maendeleo bila ubaguzi. Because if you can discriminate development against a people or an ethnic group or a region, it means you can discriminate other services. You can discriminate things like healthcare. You can discriminate things like jobs. So we are saying we want an end to this existing situation. Kenya Moja.
Kenya huru.
Kenya Moja.
Maendeleo bila ubaguzi.
I want to invite my colleague Anthony to put out his remarks. Thank you.
Kenya Moja.
Kenya huru.
Kenya Moja.
Maendeleo bila ubaguzi.
My name is Anton Buvi from Kitui County, member of Kenya Moja. Tuko hapa kuuza sera zetu za Kenya Moja kama movement, na nataka nialike Wakenya wote kwa hii movement yetu, songe pamoja mbele. Kenya Moja.
Kenya huru.
Kenya Moja.
Maendeleo bila ubaguzi.
Wacha nialike memba mwenzetu hapa McLeod. Karibu.
Kenya Moja.
Kenya huru.
Kenya Moja.
Maendeleo bila ubaguzi.
Why, first of all, welcome to the fourth estate. Why we are here? We are here for a noble cause. We are here for a vision. We are here for a purpose. Our major concern why we came up with this particular umbrella, we want to unite Kenya. We are not here to antagonize the government, to be pro the government, or either in the government. But we want, first of all, to collect all the Kenyans together. Because the word Kenyan already itself, it gives you the position of ownership. Why are you a Kenyan? And we must have a purpose and a vision for this particular movement called Kenya Moja, Kenya Huru, Maendeleo Bila Ubaguzi. We are not here to speak about the government, neither we are not here to speak against the government. We are here to check on our own cause for all Kenyans, either Muslim, Christianity, Hindus, all the Kenyans to come together for a noble cause. And the major thing why we are coming in for the noble cause is that what happened to our country, and we remember very well history, last year on 25th of June, whatever happened in Kenya, it's a history for us to learn something out of that. So that moving forward, we have decided to create our space to welcome all other Kenyans to come into our space. Because if we leave for the political class or the religious class to create their space, we'll go into their space with their terms. But we are creating a space for all Kenyans so that we can start a dialogue within our space at our own cost, so that space becomes easier for us to start the conversation on how Kenya can move forward, how Kenya can share resources, how Kenya can share everything in an equal manner, so that we check our own forward. And this movement, we want to welcome everybody, and as we move forward, welcome.
Kenya moja. Kenya moja.
Maendeleo bila ubaguzi.
Kwa majina yangu naitwa Collins Matasi ya Tundu, nimetokea katika gatuzi la Laikipia. Kwa nini vuguvugu hili linalojiita Kenya moja lina mwakilishi kama mimi ambaye ni mlemavu katika kikundi hiki? Tumeona miungano hapa nchini kwetu, katika miungano yote ya kisiasa, mlemavu anakumbukwa katika wakati wanapangilio. Baada ya mipangilio, mwenye alikuwa pale akionekana kama mlemavu anachukuliwa, anapewa kiti cha nomination either MCA ama MP na biashara yake inaishia hapo. Sisi tunataka kuja hapa na huu muungano wa Kenya moja, kusema kwamba walemavu wote watakuwa wamewakilishwa na mambo yao haitaishia katika kutengeneza miungano ya kisiasa au miungano yote katika nchi hii. Tunawakaribisha walemavu wote katika nchi ya Kenya waungane na huu muungano wetu wa Kenya moja ambao hauna ubaguzi wowote, ambao utakuwa kuwasikiza wote na kupeana mwelekeo katika nchi yetu, katika mvuguvugu ambao tunaenda kutengeneza, ambao limetengenezwa hapa mbele yetu na Wakenya wenzetu ambao wana consider na wanakumbuka Wakenya wote pamoja. Asanteni sana, na muita mwenzangu hapa kidogo.
Asante sana kwa kuja on this invitation. Naitwa Mugali Okumu, founder member of Kenya Moja. Kenya Moja, Kenya Moja,
Maendeleo bila ubaguzi.
Ningependa just kupeana a few words na kuongea maybe why we came together na where we want to this country. Wanasema things don't go wrong, things start out wrong. Kenya ilianza kama kampuni, the Imperial British East Africa Company. Now when the company came here, they came to extract resources. Now they made the people ambao tulikuwa tunaishi hapa, we became simply their workers and their servants. And your rights within this country at the time ilikuwa kama wewe ni mfanyikazi mahali fulani, you could not walk around bila kipande ya kuonesha mimi I am working for so and so ama I am owned by so and so. Now when we got independence, we should have corrected that. The first thing we should have done was we should have built a nation. But we didn't build a nation. The people who took over this company, which had become a state under the Queen, waliendelea na huo ubaguzi. They started kupeleka development kule kwao. So what we need to do as Kenyans, we need to go back and ask ourselves, how do we create a nation of citizens? Not a state ambayo kuna workers na wengine wanakuja kuwafanyia kazi. My rights as a citizen in this country is based on my ownership, joint ownership of this land that we call Kenya. But we only own it as a united people, as Kenya Moja. And that is why we're coming here as Kenya Moja. We want to correct some of these things and take ownership of our land, take ownership of our resources. For example, we need to understand what are the resources that we consider to be the states. Which are our buildings, which are our machineries, which are our things. We as the owners of this country need to understand what do we own as citizens in this country. That is number one. So there needs to be a very high level of accountability that Kenya Moja will be pushing to have, so that the state right now as it is works with the people and the people know exactly what is happening in the state so that they can work together. Kenya Moja na Kenya Huru inamaanisha we come together, and it's only through that we can truly become independent. Kuna mengine ambayo tutashare kule mbele, but for now ningependa kuachia hapo, na ningependa kumkaribisha President of Bunge la Mwananchi, Mr. Francis.
Kenya moja.
Kenya huru.
Kenya moja.
Maendeleo bila ubaguzi.
My name's are Francis Awino. I'm the current president Bunge la Mwananchi, and at the same time, I'm among the founders of Kenya Moja. Today, it's a very great day to us, and I want to thank you as well, members of Federal Estate, for coming here so that we can make history in this nation. We have seen a lot of things happening in this country, and we are not here for blame games. We are not here still to praise others. What we want as Kenya Moja is to make sure that we have a country that is conducive for all of us. A country that everyone can enjoy, regardless of the tribe, regardless of where you are. And that's why we sat down and figured out, we moved to other parts of this country, trying to figure out what we can do, trying to ask our brothers, our sisters, and our parents what we can do so that this country can move forward, and so that these complaints zenye zimejaa kila mahali tuweze kumalizana nazo. Kenya moja, Kenya moja.
Maendeleo bila ubaguzi.
So we are giving our people hope. Ile hope yenye tunawapea ni kwamba hii Kenya ni yetu sisi wote na lazima tusonge mbele sisi wote. I want to remind you back in 1950s, saa zenye maguka zetu, our grandparents, waliona Kenya haiendi mbele vizuri, walikaa chini kama vijana wa hizo enzi, wakanong'onezana, and they gave us independence, which was meant to be the first liberation of this nation. In 2010, 1990s, when our fathers felt that this nation is heading towards the wrong direction, and they wanted to end a one-party democracy, they fought for it, na wakatuletea multipartyism, na wakatuletea constitution ya 2010. We, as the youth of our time, 2020s, tumekaa chini pia, tukaona hii nchi sio ya wazee, hii nchi sio ya mababa zetu, hii nchi sio ya vijana, hii nchi ni yetu sisi wote, na lazima tukae chini tuangalie venye tunaweza songa mbele pamoja. And that's why, as we fight for the third liberation of this nation, social and economic empowerment, should not be just a mere talk. It should be a conclusive thing to discuss na mababa zetu, wa mama zetu pande ingine, mabrother zetu na masista zetu, ndio tuangalie venye tunaweza ponya Kenya. Ndio hii Kenya ikuwe Kenya yenye kila mtu anaweza enjoy saa zenye unaishi. Nikiwarudisha kwa Biblia, saa zenye Yesu alifufuka, wanafunzi wake na watu wa dunia waliuliza Yesu, kwa sababu umeamua kurudi juu mbinguni kwa baba yako, sisi hapa duniani unatuachia nini? Yesu akawaambia, nitawaachia Roho Mtakatifu, Holy Spirit. Saa zenye nilizunguka Kenya, nikawaambia tamu yangu ya bunge la mwananchi inaisha. Wakenya wakaniambia, umetuonyesha leadership nzuri, wewe kama Francis Awino unaenda kutuachia nini? Nikawaambia, mimi sina Roho Mtakatifu, lakini tunaenda kuanzisha vuguvugu la Kenya moja, ndio liweze kuponya Kenya, ndio sisi kama Wakenya tuweze kusonga mbele pamoja. So this is not a political space, this is not a church space, this is not a civil society space, this is a space that is bringing all Kenyans together so that we can move together. Na ndio maana naalika wa Kenya tarehe 7 mwezi wa 7, nataka tupatane pale Uhuru Gardens. Tutazunguka Kenya nzima tukielezea Wakenya wenzetu importance za kuja Uhuru Gardens tarehe 7 mwezi wa 7, ndio tuweze kunongonezana kama Wakenya, na kuanzia hapo tushike mwelekeo wa kujua hii Kenya itapona vipi na ile njia yenye tunapitia kama Wakenya. Asanteni sana, Mungu abariki Kenya na Mungu awabariki wote. Kama kuna maswali tunaweza kaulizwa ndio tuweze kusonga mbele pamoja. Na pia nyinyi watu wa Fourth Estate, tunawa-invite pia mkuje kwa hili vuguvugu ndio tuweze kusonga mbele pamoja. Asanteni sana.
Kenya moja, Kenya huru. Kenya moja,
Kenya
maendeleo bila ubaguzi. Kenya moja,
Kenya huru.
Kenya moja,
Maendeleo bila ubaguzi.
Give the opportunity for any question.
Kenya moja,
Kenya huru.
Kenya moja.
Maendeleo bila ubaguzi.
The end game is very easy. Right now we have a lot of problems in this nation. We have the health problem, tuko na mashida za education, tuko na mashida nyingi sana zenye hatutaki kuname one by one. Na pia hatutaki kulaumiana kwa sababu saa hizi ukianza kulaumu ile regime yenye ipo saa hii, watasema kuna mashida zenye wali inherit. Pia mwenzangu hapa Mulielia, umesikia akisema from 1950s. Hii Kenya ilianza kama kampuni. So it's upon us sasa tukae chini kama Wakenya, tuangalie hii Kenya yetu tunaitaka ikue aje, na ndio Kenya ipone. Lazima sisi kama wananchi tunong'onezane. Kama ni mambo ya education, sisi kama Wakenya tuamue education system tunataka ikue hivi. Kama ni mambo ya health, sisi kama Wakenya tuamue health system tunataka ikue hivi. Kama ni mambo ya ukulima, sisi kama wananchi tuamue ukulima tunataka ikue hivi. And that's why tuna invite Wakenya wote tarehe 7 mwezi wa 7 Uhuru Gardens, ndio tunong'onezane sisi wote. And from that point sasa tujue hii ndio njia ya education ni hii, njia ya health ni hii, njia ya farming ni hii. Ndio sasa Kenya sasa zenye inapona ikuwe conducive kwa kila mtu, mtu mwenye yuko kazi, mwenye hayuko kazi, mzee, mchanga, aenjoy kuwa Kenya na enjoy kuishi Kenya, kwa sababu Kenya ni ya kila mtu. Mimi mwenyewe niko na right ya kuitwa Mkenya kwa sababu nilizaliwa hili Kenya, lakini saa zenye nateseka kama sina chakula na kama mtoto wangu hawezi enda Kenya, hawezi enda shule, na mwingine anaenjoy hizo rights. Hizo ndizo vitu zenye tunajaribu kuminimize na ndizo vitu zenye tunataka kumaliza. Ndio mtu wote mwenye anaishi Kenya afeel Kenya ni yake, na afeel anapaswa kuishi Kenya, na afeel ako na freedom ya kuishi Kenya.
Okay, just to add onto your question, we don't want to be cocooned and be branded while starting. But Kenya Moja is about changing how we view politics. Because mostly right now, and for many decades, we view politics from identity, either tribal identities, the poor versus the rich, the young versus the old. For us, Kenya is about resources. Geopolitics is about who gets what. But we believe all Kenyans deserve to be served, irrespective of where they vote. So that's why our core theme is Maendeleo Bila Ubaguzi. It's about changing the political perspective. It starts as an idea. We are planting a seed. Then we'll go around the country. This is just a launch. We don't want to preempt anything, but this is just a launch. After this, we go around the country. We invite Kenyans. We'll also share with them. We may also find that others have better ideas on how we can do this. Then we are going, as the President, Francis has said, we are going to meet at Uhuru Gardens on Saba Saba. Then there Kenyans will talk. And of course, in such a meeting, there will be resolutions. And now from there, now your question will be answered. Thank you, brother. Any other question?
May I add something? Kenya Moja, Kenya Huru doesn't just belong to all of us. This is a movement that belongs to all Kenyans. It belongs to you as well. So if you have better ideas that can make us move forward as a country, we are still inviting you guys.
Any other different? Yes, as Kenya Moja, we cannot discriminate because of your political affiliation. So with Kenya Moja, it doesn't matter which side of the political side you lean in, as long as you believe. Because for us, whatever unites us is the belief that Kenyans need to come together and we need to develop as a country. And as long as you don't hold the opinion that whoever is in power decides who gets what, but it's the people and everybody deserves to be served as a Kenyan, you are welcome, irrespective of your tribal affiliation, religious affiliation, your tribe, gender, anything. You're invited. It's Kenya Moja. It's Kenya Moja.